Boom. Hello, beautiful people. We are live and back at it again. This is the Wrestling for Life Network. We are live for another TNA Impact. We got the Wicked Garden match going on. We've got, Santina and the kids fighting again, but we getting right into some AMC TNA Impact. Let's go. Ooh, if I can find it. Ding, ding, ding. We are back at it again. You got Hump Day in the books, folks. Oh, even past that now. It's Friday Junior. We got Thursday Night Impact, the 22-year anniversary, by the way, of Impact Wrestling. And I guess you should say, if you don't know who I am Big Nick. This is the Wrestling for Life Network. Hopefully, maybe Ringside or Anthony might wake up. He was supposed to be here, but we'll see what happens. But I got you rocking for another Thursday Impact, like I said. We have the Wicked Garden match tonight. We've been waiting for this. What's it going to be? Is it going to be cinematic? We're supposed to be building towards Slammiversary. Plus, now you've got NXT even counterbooking Slammiversary. You've got talent leaving TNA. There's a lot of news going on in TNA, but let's get into it. Let's first say hi to the people since I'm out here by my lonesome. But be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, and subscribe to the top three from last night from Dynamite, which started off really well. Dynamite did. I actually really enjoyed Roosh versus MJF, even though I, going into it, didn't expect to like it. And T's and P's and hopefully speedy recovery to MJF, who hyperextended his knee. We noticed at the end of that match, he was very much selling the leg, and it looked really more intentional than he was just selling it. But yeah, I can't make a date for Friday, so hopefully it's not too serious. But yeah, really solid then, and then it just kind of went downhill. They kept doing too much Tonyisms and everything. Kevin Knight's and, the Callis family, and Ospreay's wrestling the same way he does, but he wins with an armbar. All this. And at least we didn't get Moxley. And Sasha's return was actually pretty solid. Now she's a little thicker up there, like a Snickers, but 100%. Monet coming back actually wasn't bad. She had a solid match, but yeah, that's your top three again. The more you chat, the more you super chat, the super stickers, all of that, the YouTube algorithms, add it all up together, and that's how you get your top of the pop, your top of the leaderboards out there. But I will say hi to the people because we've got about 6 minutes. Like I said, a little bit of a hiccup to the start of the show, but we're still going. But Kevin, what up? Hi, Big Nick and Anthony. Someone knows Anthony, just knock on his door or something. Zach, National Cheese Day. Cheese. Damien, looking forward to Eddie Edwards versus BDE. Are we kind of over at Eddie? I don't know. The system is systeming. It's kind of there. It's always been there. I don't know if I'm really excited for Eddie Edwards in anything right now. It's been all over. We still haven't even had any real resolution of the whole fact that he sat there and took out Moose. That just kind of went by the wayside. But Evan, I see you. I can't wait. Shout out. Everything is, I was hoping to talk to Anthony about some of the stuff that's going on out there, because I know he actually, even in our group chat, had very much kind of like the inside scoop on, what is it, Mila Grace? Mila Grace, is that her name, that just asked for her? Yes, Mila Grace, that just asked for her release from TNA and was granted it. And that kind of came out today. I guess Anthony kind of heard it amongst the boards, the message boards and everything, that was already a thing kind of going on. And because of her independent promotion dates and everything over in the UK, I think it was mostly in like Ireland, I want to say, that she was like the champ over there, and it was kind of conflicting and it wasn't working out, and they weren't really doing too much with her, to be honest. I kind of wasn't familiar too much with her game, but it's another one that TNA starts to kind of lose. They need to re-up this talent of freshen up. I know they brought in some of them, like you have a Harley Hudson, you have a Jada Stone, you have some names like that, but you need to keep refreshing the cabinets. We saw Ricky Sosa sign, and I know he's had some stuff going on, but we haven't seen him since he signed. So what's next with all that? But Evan, appreciate you. Clay, what up? Eric, hey, Wrestling for Life buddies. You think that the AW sickos are throwing a fit now? I don't think so. They're more, oh, no one's going to watch NXT. Why'd you do that? So we'll see. We'll see. It's still a ways away. Um, Same night as your birthday. Well, happy early birthday, my guy. June 28th. Yeah, it's going to be the accidental marathon stream on that Sunday because you're going to have TNA Slammiversary starts at 4 o'clock. I think the pre-show might go at 3. Then you have Great American Bash at 7. Then you've got Forbidden Door at 8. So all day of wrestling, all weekend of wrestling, because you've even got Night of Champions right before it. James Paul, what up? What up? Bradley out here, the giver of gifts, gifting them all away out there. One from last Friday, one from last Saturday, and another from this past Monday. I try to support the afternoon streams when WWE goes international. Well, fair enough, and I appreciate you, sir. And absolutely, tomorrow, SmackDown 145 will be live because it's coming to you from Bologna, Italy, I believe. But yeah, they're very much still on the European tour. So a lot of brunch with the bros, afternoon shows. Ronan, I see you have become obsolete. Yeah, what are we going to get with this Wicked Garden match? Is it going to be, a cinematic thing? I've seen maybe one clip kind of come around initially when they first did the taping, and it seemed like it was more just kind of a hardcore match. But maybe it leads to a compound match at Slammiversary or something. We'll see. Either way, I hope that this is kind of getting towards the end of this feud because it's been going on since they've been on AMC, respectfully. Damian Mila Grace, yes, talked about that. James, yes, we did mention MJF's injury again. We kind of knew something was up and it was beyond just him selling, but hopefully it's not too bad. It's hyper extended. So we'll see if that, leads to anything too much later than that. Jake, the OTC, what up? Boston, where's Anthony at? I don't know, sir. I've been trying to reach him. You try and reach him, sir. The man might have overslept a little bit. He's out there just staying all tuckered in, all visions of, X divisions and, Wicked Gardens in his head. But yeah, no. Bradley, yeah. Roll Tide, what up, Jason? I see you. Bonkers, what up? Did I miss the Daniel Barry Sports highlights in there yet? I don't know. Michael, MJF gets injured. Then we find out later that he was contracted to perform in another movie. My opinion. I don't think that that's a thing coming around. I think that's always going to be the thing now with MJF with anything. They said that when he lost to Darby, they tried to throw that around that, it's because he's booked for another movie and he shot that down. I think he legitimately got hurt and they're making sure that they don't fuck up their whole summer of plans. Because if he goes down as your champion and you're building to him at All In and something or other, or even if the godforsaken idea of Mick Foley has a match with him, which we can talk about that later, but MJF being out around Redemption, around All In, screws up AEW's entire months of planning. That would be a huge blow to them creatively. Roll Tide, what up? You're good, my guy. Sean Reed, is the TNA show live tonight or pre-tape? No, it is the last of the tapings, I want to say. These were when they're out in San Diego, San Jose, one of them sands out there in California. Oh, Sacramento. That's because you had the Sacktown match between AJ Francis and KC. Elijah Supnick's more AW departure coming soon? I don't think so. I don't think we've even really have we had any recently? I mean, more of just moving from AEW to WWE. We might see more of TNA departures because Santana's contract's up in July, but I don't know about AEW. When's that? I guess if they move over, it'd be a departure, but even then, the last one was what, Hobbs? So it's been a minute. But I am getting the kickoff of TNA Impact Live tonight. If you want to sync up with me, I've got Santino right now in the ring as the replay of the match from last week. And also, I know I mentioned at the start of the show and everything, but TNA even put it out. 22-year anniversary of the first ever Impact show for TNA. So surprisingly still going strong and long. I didn't know it was on that long. Byron, what up? So yeah, we're getting a replay of last week setting up the mixed tag match that we're getting, and now we're getting the Righteous out here. Byron, my expectations for tonight is going to be a 9. Ooh, them's high expectations. No disrespect to TNA, but it might be a little bit more lowered expectations. Is the TNA? Yeah, I got that one already. 7 is some IGN stuff, and IGN sucks. Fair, okay. I don't know. We're gangbanging on the number 7 now. Cooper, Nick, what up? What up? I sent him a message, but no response yet. Boston, yeah, same. So we'll see. We'll see. But I got you. I got you. Don't worry, birdies. I got you. We'll fly together. Quack, quack. He's caught up watching Austin Powers. He's so captivated by him. He can't be pulled away to watch the TNA. Yes, it's another taping from Sacramento to answer Sean's question earlier. No, Nate, the Blade of the Butcher is gone from AEW. Really? Is that? I haven't seen that. Let me, as the system's coming out right now, let me see if I can quickly try and confirm or deny that. Because, yeah, I hadn't heard of that. It would make sense with Ali being back in TNA, and they really haven't used them. Oh, so yeah, according to, well, let me double check. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of SRS putting out. So the Butcher and Blade are free agents after their AW contracts have expired. Myself and Fightful Select, I've learned. So fair enough. I'm looking at a screenshot, but shout out to James with the breaking news. So the Butcher and the Blade, free agents, probably going to head to TNA then. You get them around, an index. You have Ali back in the fold. You have the Bunny back in the mix. I think it works. I think that's probably the smart play, what they're going to end up doing. But let me know if anybody else out there thinks that they go anywhere else. Do they go to MLW? Do they go in NWA? No, I don't know about that way. I don't know if WWE kicked the tires on them, respectfully. Anna Jay has signed a new deal or not. Not that I'm aware of. I have not heard anything on that, but apparently I'm not fully up on the data on the contract news, according to James. But no, thank you. Z-Man Scar, hoping for a good TNA, as we do for any show we watch. I don't ever want to watch a show be bad, but sometimes they just be that way. As I got BDE coming out right now. Let me find this slide. Yes, so folks, let me know who you got for this match. Whether you got Eddie Edwards or BDE, who could it be? I think obviously with the system being all at ringside, we know how this is going to go. Is there anything with this that feels like it's kind of just treading water? It's not exactly going in any direction, truly. Because where do you go with Eddie Edwards again? You go back to the world title? He's got to have Moose come back at some point. Is that going to happen here? Do you get BDE and Moose as a team together or something? Maybe. I feel like I gave them 3 better ideas than anything they have planned with this, but we'll see. I do like BD's whole transformation from like YouTuber to actually kind of in ring, and he's done well in TNA and in especially Wrestling Revolver. But we are underway. Who do you got? BDE. Yes, the YouTuber Brandon something or other. I can't remember. Yeah, wrestling content creator, wrestling YouTuber that ended up training and becoming an actual pretty decent pro wrestler. Not exactly a Logan Paul, but I'll give it to him. Oh, up over. Edwards versus BDE. Edwards wins. Edwards wins. I saw it pop on my Twitter net. Well, fair enough. Good on you. Marvelous. Take it down the system. Yes, down the system. Who do I think wins? Probably Eddie, because you've got the system at ringside. And again, BD is still kind of on the come up ish. So I don't think they'll give him a win quite yet over Eddie. And again, where do you go then from there? If BD gets the win, where do you go? Ed wins. Who got the I guess you, Damien? But I got both men up on the top turnbuckle. Oh, big avalanche drop from Eddie on the BD. 1, 2, 2 count, 2 count. Ken, they're doing a show at home here in Buffalo in July. Yeah, I think they're going around like Albany. They're going around central to northern, well, central and western New York, I'll say. Around that time I saw, because still from being back home and everything, I get updates around like Albany and all that, Syracuse. So yeah, they do that whole thing. They'll do one live episode. They'll tape 4 episodes. Do a live one. They'll tape 4. And am I the only one that thinks they might need to shake up that format a little bit? Ricky, what up? Hey, pals. How many years has Eddie Edwards been in TNA? Oh, Christ. Well, he's been out there since, 1 second. He was out there since the Wolves with Davey Richards. So he's been in there. He's got to have been in there since Christ when you had Team 3D and everything in there. So he's been in there for a hot minute. I mean, his whole on TV career for the most part has just been in TNA. So yeah, pretty much just take how long his wrestling career is and maybe chop a few years off. Ooh, clothesline, little basic looking. Marvelous, what up? I see you. Splash in the corner. Yeah, little wrestling schoolers from BD looking there of the kind of reverse and pretty rarey thing. Oh, it's time. It's time, Boston. What up? Oh, fails on the cutter. Roll through arm drag. Okay. Interesting match. Not bad. Not bad. Lee versus Mr. Out. Yes, Damien. This is why I wanted Anthony here specifically because Anthony was all about to crash out and everything over the fact that they're having this match. It makes no sense. It's not even it's because it's intergender. No, it's not even because of that. And I just wanted to hear Anthony's vehement, passionate speech about how Mr. Elegance has added nothing to the brand, to the company, to anything, serves no purpose there. And the match is just a bunch of nothingness. Cutter from BDE. 1, 2, 2 count. Ricky Sosa, did he have visa issues? Or I had heard that it was personal issues and some other stuff or anything. I didn't know it was visa issues. Either way, it's been a rough go, a bad kind of, as of course we get the system getting involved, but it's definitely kind of been a bad luck, a bad case of circumstances, knees up, and the frog splashing and nothing. But to have him debut and be so over, Boston knee party, 1, 2, that's got to be it. As Eddie Edwards gets the win, but to have Ricky Sosa be so over viral and everything and be, so well received and have this big, reaction response when you sign him, and then you can't use them for like a month or so. You can't have them on TV or anything. Whatever the issue is, it's a bad luck. It's a bad luck situation for TNA. As the system now standing over BDE. Do we get a Moose response here or something? I don't know why I keep clamoring and wanting Moose, but they jumped him and beat him up, and then there's been no response. No, now we get Eichner. Vinny Vici. Oh, he's got a. Now he's running. I thought he was going to get the whole entrance out there. Apparently, so roll tide. But Vinci laying everybody out. Mr. Stormy, hi, Big Nick. You are doing great tonight. Streaming the show solo. What are your thoughts on the Wicked Garden? I'm looking forward to seeing that fight tonight. Thank you, sir. I'm looking forward to it. I'm interested to see, like I said, I've seen a clip or two that show that it's more like a hardcore barbed wire kind of match versus a cinematic match. I wonder how they're going to pull it off, what aspects, what rules is it going to have, and is it going to lead to us? Now Leon's coming out. Is it going to lead into a Hardy Compound match or anything? Is it going to continue on to Slammiversary? I do kind of want the feud to end, but I'm still interested if we're going to get like one big cinematic match out of this. Ooh, Leon with the whip up, kip up, leg drop there, super kick. Roland, hey, Big Nick, what's up? What's up, Roland? Shout out, my guy. Appreciate you. Yes, hit the like button, hit share, subscribe, as we're ever so close to 11K out here. So let's see if we can cross that number tonight. That'd be nice. Hit the little mark all on my own there. Pause. Oh, Leon, up and over. Now, anybody buy into the whole? Well, one, that they didn't have him break the X Division record because he's about to leave. Two, and some people think, oh, well, he's going to AEW because otherwise they would have let him break it. But WWE 2K just put his finisher in the game in the latest update. So he's already been over there a couple of times for NXT. But do you think that A, Leon's out of TNA when his contract's up, and B, where do you think he goes? But this man is just a fucking human highlight reel. BDE keeps losing singles matches, kind of like the Maple believes. Oh, if KJ was here, he'd be fuming at that. Oh, so we're getting a video package for the Wicked Garden. Wicked Garden is so. Yeah, it very much seems like this whole thing's been a bit about the righteous trying to bring the broken Hardys out. Like they wanted to see Broken Matt. They wanted Willow to show up. So I'm wondering how they're really going to kind of pay this off, because this feud's been going since they've been on AMC. They've been friends. They've teamed together. They started off as enemies. They've came back around. So the whole image of like their silhouettes with like the stuff behind it has been dope, though. I saw that online quite a bit of very, hippie cult vibe. Dig what I'm saying? And shout out Vincent, friend of the channel, sharing the stuff from the channel, by the way. Jason, what up? I see you. Spaz, I do see a super chat. I appreciate you. Of more, I'm just trying to. I'm captivated by this video package. I can't look away because I'm trying to make sense of what it fully is. It's very Manson-y, like if the Wyatts were in the 70s or the 60s, but it's still, I still think there's more juice they're going to try and squeeze out of this. As up next, we're going to get AJ Francis out here. But as I go to commercial break, I will read off Spaz here with a $10 super chat. Thank you, sir. Nick, random question. What's the wildest behind the scenes headline that could possibly arouse a ruse from the June 20th Slammiversary Great American Bash Forbidden Door Cluster F? Happy Men's Mental Health Month. Absolutely. Shout out and stay tuned. Make sure you very much hit that bell notification because we got some stuff in the chambers out there for that mental health and everything. Anthony, he's alive. He's alive. I thought that's what I thought, my guy. But don't worry, I got you, my guy. Appreciate you. I overslept. I slept in an arm, and yes, Anthony's here to save the day. We got to talk to this man about the TNA Insider. This man had breaking news before even Sean Ross Sapp out here. Yeah, he was just so hyped up for the Wicked Garden match. I was like, well, we hyped up the Bear Bronson match from before, from the tapings and everything that Anthony went to. And then, we weren't on stream together to watch that one together. We've been waiting for this Wicked Garden match, and we got to be on stream watching this together, my guy. But yes, now that we're back to regular scheduled programming here, but I'm still in commercial break. Biggest headline that could come out of that whole thing. It would probably have to be, it would be something with Santana losing the title, and then it becomes the question of where he's going. Of that, because it's right around, it's the end of the month. His contract is allegedly up in July. Outside of that, would it be just my fantasy booking of MJF's double champ? And they do my fantasy idea of they put Andrade versus MJF for both titles? Because I don't know what they're going to do at Forbidden Door right now yet on anything. It seems like we're actually going to surprisingly get Briscoe versus MJF at Forbidden Door, which is neither forbidden or a door, I guess, if that makes any sense on the last part. But we've seen that enough. And I know I went back and re-listened to Briscoe's promo from last night, and it was actually really solid once we weren't talking and doing all of this and everything. But now I don't really think that that fits a Forbidden Door. You could do that. You could have done that in the place of the Roosh match. You could do that on another Dynamite. I just don't know. There's nothing that's going to feel Forbidden Door right now, I feel, with the New Japan AW connection. And honestly, I think I was talking to, shout out Anthony's friend Phil, another content creator. Some might know him as Little Nick for his brief appearance on the channel at one point. But I was chatting with him, and we both kind of agreed that Forbidden Door might not be long for this world out here, especially with the New Japan new buyout and everything. And now it's lacked its luster, it's lacked its connective tissue to what makes it seem forbidden and unique in this big crossover, because there's no stories that cross over. As much as these promotions intermingle, there's no stories that truly cross over amongst all promotions anymore. And everything that they try and do just feels forced. Like that's why they had to add CMLL into this. And now why they added Stardom, and they had to do the whole Tekla insider Haktula, on the Stardom thing on Dynamite, which I don't think was bad, but there's nothing unique or special about Forbidden Door anymore. It's lost its luster. It's lacked its hope. Anthony is alive. Anthony has risen. Sorry. Hi, friend. What up? Shout out all the new friends and the new peeps in the chat all the way too, by the way. Hey, Mike Rouse, been a minute, my guy. Where's your knee pad partner there, MDB? Yeah, I feel like I'm missing an MDB and a Jose. They'll show up once Anthony shows up. But I got AJ Francis on my screen. The Garden match, better. I can say words. Slow down. The Garden match, better Wicked Ked. Is a Wicked Pesta? Are you trying to add some Boston flavor onto that? I'm lost in translation on here. Spaz, I see you. MDB is missing in action. MIA. Oh, now we're gonna get this whole theory that Anthony and MDB are the same person. He just shows up and chats against himself to argue with himself. Sounds like something I might do. But anyways, what do we think that TNA is gonna do next? With AJ Francis out here. Is he going to start going towards the world title? Does he go towards a Mustafa Ali? He just took the L to Casey. Roland, yeah, what up? Have you considered covering AAA shows? We've covered a few. We definitely covered Mask vs. Mask this past weekend. Some of the times it's just, honestly, it's trying to work in the times and all of that. Like, we cover literally as much as we damn near physically can. We're still trying to get to where this is a full-time gig, and then we'd be covering even more. It's all in just the timing of it's like the same thing with I'd love to do more New Japan shows, but I can't be out here at 3:00 in the morning on a Thursday. That just isn't going to work, brother. And I know that AAA is not that hard to find, and I say that in jest, but it's at times it's just the lining up of everything. And sometimes we'll stay and end up watching parts of it and everything. But yeah, maybe if we can find time on the schedule, we might add it. And since we're on hollow ground, Wrestle Rants, Leon's theme is so bad and boring. There's no excitement, energy, or emotion that you get from it. You barely hear anything when he comes out. I think that's just across the board in wrestling. I don't even know if that's exactly a TNA thing. I know it's very prominent in TNA, but I also don't know if it's just a TNA exclusive thing. Even some of the stuff AEW gets away with it because they pay for the actual songs. Def Rebels killed every WWE theme you can damn near think of. Hey, bored me so bad my stream crashed. Oh, no. But yeah, no, AJ's not bad. It's just he's kind of, like I said, I'm trying to figure out where he's going to go direction. Oh, Elijah. Oh, so he's doing he did an AI mashup song of his own country song. No, did he just sing this? What is this? TNA has an abundance of music-related feuds. So we're getting a live performance of AJ Francis performing Walk, which the album art, for those who can't see, is pretty much him as Elijah. What this started from, he wanted to team with him to now he seems like he's starting a feud with him. Almighty Pop, what's up, guys? I'm late to go pick up Mary Jane. What did I miss? Oh, I had to go. Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. All that you missed so far was Eddie Edwards, beat BDE. Excuse me, and I think that's really about it. I know we've talked about some other stuff, but as far as on the show, that's been about it. Oh, and then we had the video package for the Wicked Garden. Walk with Elijah. Are either guys really, really over? You're seeing empty seats in the front, bro. I know everybody's rushing to the sides, but I don't get exactly what the tension is here because, like I said, if someone wants to correct me, I know we're here every week, and I'm probably going to get this wrong somehow when anything shows up. But didn't AJ and Elijah want to team up at one point, or AJ went to Elijah asking him to team up? Now it seems like he's trying to aggravate him goad him into a match or a feud. I'm a little bit country. I'm a little bit rock and roll. I don't know what that was. Was that rapping? What the kids call that? It was hipping and hopping with the bipping and the bot. He just kind of just said walk a lot. That's all he really said is just walk. He did a bad Pantera cover, is what AJ Francis did. This is terrible and really cringy, and I like AJ Francis. I'm trying to keep the faith alive out here with this. I like Elijah. I like AJ. I want them to be doing something that matters, something that's good. And this is not it. Whatever this is not it. So now Elijah's going to sing. Where are we just performing open mic night? This is such a bad segment. It's gone on far too long. It feels like it's probably only been like 3 minutes, but it feels like it's been 10. Mickey is hardcore. I take a Mickey singing segment out here right now than any of this. I'll just have Mickey play her entrance music. It'd be better than any music I'm hearing with this. So now he's giving Elijah a cease and desist order because he didn't want to collab with him. So see, I was right. Okay. So the name, image, and likeness, that it's so they're name dropping Elias and Ezekiel of I've not only sent you one for Elisha, but also for Elias. And I know because you like to be sneaky, Ezekiel. What is Nick's thoughts on Blackheart, Leo Rush, and his new gimmick? I think we've talked about it. We talked about it a good bit on Wednesday, Damien. It was weird when everybody had to stop and freeze because Ken Smeagol was coming out and all that. It just there's something that there's trying to make with it, and then every time I feel like it's getting to me, it gets to me, if that makes sense. Every time it's starting to get over with me, I just find something again that I don't like with it. And I don't, the same people that are a fan and champion that are those same ones that try and gangbang on Danhausen now because he's on the other side. That's the weird part with me. So this is happening because Elias shut down AJ Francis when he wanted to. Yes, that's like I said, that's very weird of why this is a thing and why I feel that this whole segment is very much kind of withering on the vine out here. There's died 1,000 deaths. Are we going to now have them collab? If I collab with you, will you not cease and desist me? That's how he hits him with the mic. What the fuck was this? This is boo, and I know they're supposed to be booing the heel, but this is Lol TNA, Uncle Phil, yeah. Uncle Phil, just Jazzy Jeff, Elijah. 2-0 Vegas, thank you, Roll Tide. So, what period? What period? Put Damien out here, the leader of the Hopium tribe, saying, please end this. Good God Almighty, as Elijah's busting in his ear. Oh, as we're getting the warm-ups backstage for Indy Hartwell and I didn't even click over to AJ Francis. But yes, we just had the AJ Francis segment. We're getting to Anthony. Maybe. Hello.
Yes, I'm here. I made it.
You survived. I got word, my guy. I sent you some messages at Boston. Say I do Frame search party at 2 out there for Anthony.
I set an alarm and everything, and I just overslept. I guess an alarm doesn't work through Do Not Disturb. I don't know. I've never.
You need to adjust your settings. You Microsoft.
I never use an alarm, so my phone goes on automatic Do Not Disturb at 8 on Thursdays because of the stream. I do it like 45 minutes before, and so I guess the alarm and Do Not Disturb does not work together. So. Yeah, that was terrible.
This bitch out there of the ship I can do things. I'm an adult. I don't need adult supervision the whole time, but no, very much so. I started to get concerned when it was like 5 minutes before, and there was no movement, no nothing. I'm like, oh, someone worried. Did he sleep? No. My guy, I am just glad you are here in perfect timing because you're about to get into what I assume would have been one of your favorite matches. And this is what I want to ask you. Is TNA testing you out here? Well, you got this match. You got Xia Li versus Mr. Elegance. You had whatever that segment just was. I don't know how much you caught of it. Is TNA shooting themselves in the foot here? What is going on with their creative?
Well, I'm not excited about the tag team match. I think I made that clear last week, right? I didn't see most of this segment. I came in on, I think, AJ Francis saying walk like 7 times, and then I had to start putting things together for stream. So I didn't see most of that. It didn't look like it was good. One thing I can say about AJ Francis is his in-ring ability is really good. His promo skills are not the best. Or when he tries to do like music videos or music segments, they're not good. So did I expect that to be good tonight? Absolutely not. But I'll definitely go back and watch it because I do have to watch the beginning of TNA because I slept through that too.
So all you missed. And recap real right now here is we got a commercial break, and I might step away for half a second here soon, my guy. But so Eddie Edwards went over BDE, and then you had the video package for the Wicked Garden match, and I don't think I'm forgetting anything else. And then we went into the AJ Francis segment, and it literally just took that long, because he's ceased and assist him and this and that, and it's just a whole bunch of nonsense.
Oh, I didn't miss a lot. Well, I do want to see the BDE and Eddie Edwards match, so I'll definitely go back and watch that.
And I'll say this respectfully because I was trying to put the kid over with BDE, and I know he's a fellow content creator and everything, and I don't want to get on the bad side of the content creators,
right?
But you can very much tell he's still got some ways to go. He's still very, generic wrestler kind of moves of still fresh out of wrestling school, hitting clotheslines that way, and just the way he's kind of hit some stuff in the ring, it wasn't super clean. It very much like he looks almost better at times in Wrestling Evolver than he does in TNA.
Yeah, he still has a lot of work to get done and to get better. I think he works better when he's like in a tag team or something. Like earlier this year, he was in a tag team with I think the Trey Miguel and some other folks. He was in a couple of tag team matches, and he turned, a lot of those matches were really good and really fun to watch. But when he has singles matches, they don't work out the best. The only singles match off the top of my head that I know that I really enjoyed with him was the one with Eric Young, I think it was, at Sacrifice, maybe. But outside of that, he's, at least in TNA, he's better in tag teams.
Well, he's in multi-persons where he's not the one that's kind of load bearing on half the match, respectfully.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree.
But Almighty Pop, serious question. I think it goes TNA over MLW over NXT over Ring of Honor. Currently, would you guys agree? Chad, answer as well. Your thoughts?
Okay, this is going to be very, very surprising.
Mm-hmm.
It's only been one episode or two, but I was more excited for MLW this coming Saturday than I was TNA tonight. And that's coming from a TNA fan.
That's why he overslept.
MLW, if anybody missed MLW Fusion last week, it was a 2-hour premiere, and from start to finish, they blew it out of the water. This week, the Good Brothers, I believe, are challenging for the tag team titles against Dijak and Bishop Dyer. I'm excited for that. It's only been 1 week in MLW, but I did like MLW a little bit more, and I'm excited for Saturday more than I was for TNA tonight. I would put NXT over TNA. I'm going to be honest. TNA has, and I'm not like in this whole, and I know you want to take a pause, so if you want to break out at any point.
No, you're good. I'm making sure you got a Lane in Black and everything. I was going to put my 2 cents in here like this goes.
I think when it comes to TNA right now, I'm not a part of all the hate train that's going on right now with TNA on social media, but I do believe there has to be some change when it comes to TNA creative. Now, heading into Slammiversary, we're roughly a couple of days out from a month or past a month for Slammiversary. Slammiversary is June 28th. There hasn't been a match announced, and other than the X Division Ultimate X match for the title, but nothing else has been announced. I really thought we were going into the direction of the International Championship being defended against Casey Navarro, but apparently that's going to be at the tapings this coming weekend. So I don't know. I'm excited for Slammiversary regardless, but roughly being like 26 days out and a match not be announced is kind of shocking. But I also feel like TNA is trying to build up Lockdown as well. Lockdown has the most hype around it. I understand that as well because this is the return of Lockdown, but Slammiversary is also one of your premier events of the year, and I just don't feel like it's enough buzz around it right now. And that I don't feel like comes from marketing. I feel like it's a lack of certain storylines not moving forward like they should be. I guess that's how I'll put it there. So that's why right now, in my personal opinion, I can't put TNA all at number one because I love TNA and I'm gonna be biased to TNA. Right now, TNA is not above NXT. It is not above MLW from what I've seen over the last weekend and what's coming up this weekend. I don't watch Ring of Honor, but I'm also probably never going to watch Ring of Honor, so we can keep Ring of Honor in the spot that it's in.
I'd agree with you on that, and I'm surprised no NWA thrown in there just to get funky like a monkey with it. But so I have everybody out here for the tag match right now, right?
Right, yeah. I got Santino on the rope and Indy Hartwell.
There we go.
Whatever she was doing.
Right before I step away briefly here, I will say this: in defense of Slammiversary and in defense of TNA. Did they not actually technically advertise some matches because every championship will be on the line? So then every championship will be in a match. So there's those matches there. And you've also advertised a ladder match and a Ultimate X match. So you have advertised some.
Oh, no. And honestly, I feel like for me, that's enough. Like what you just said is enough. I guess for the rest of the fandom, it's not. So I was kind of defending them in a way, but what you said to me, that's enough. Like, we may not know the participants, but I feel like, we're going to get there, right? And I feel like last year for Slammiversary, we were in the same boat, right? Right after Under Siege, we kind of found out that it was going to be Jordan Grace and JC Jane at Evolution to challenge for the Knockouts title, where Evolution was a week before Slammiversary, so we didn't get that match announced until Evolution was over, right? So, same with, the triple threat match with Mike Santana, Joe Hendry, and Trick Williams. We didn't really get that announcement until like 3 weeks before Slammiversary. So I don't really see it being a problem that we haven't had like official participants announced, but we have had matches announced in Nick's defense.
In my defense, and TNA's defense, and Carlos's defense. But yeah, no, you got the framework, and now you just got to fill the slots and the spots, and I'll fill your spot. What? No. But I'm going to take a pause real quick here, and I'll leave you with Spaz with a $5 super chat.
All right, as Nick takes a pause here, we are with TNA. We got Stacks and Santino Marella in the ring. This is a mixed tag team match with Indy Hartwell on Santino's side and Ariana Grace on Stacks' side, obviously. Spaz with a $5 super chat here says, I need to get Tony's overall overview of the mounting war in wrestling with NXT, TNA, AAA versus AEW, Ring of Honor, CMLL, New Japan Pro Wrestling. I mean, there's a lot of news that came out this week. So on the 28th of June, we were initially only going to get Slammiversary. And then now that turned into having Slammiversary and Forbidden Door, which I've never been a big fan of the Forbidden Door pay-per-views, but we get Forbidden Door. And then over the past couple of days, it was announced that, NXT Great American Bash was announced for the 28th. So that whole entire weekend, because 27th is Night of Champions, there's a whole lot of wrestling going on. And there's the mounting war of AEW, WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, whatever the case may be. I did see some tweets about people being upset that WWE decided to counterbook AEW, but when it was the other way around with Slammiversary being counterbooked by AEW, apparently AEW had that arena booked for months in advance. But that's neither here nor there. It's just a lot going on in wrestling, and I feel like the wrestling fans in general, and no, I'm not talking about this match on TNA because I don't care for it, and I don't care for the storyline. But I feel like wrestling fans in general just want to see companies fail. And I don't know why. I feel like the more wrestling companies we have, the better variety we have, the better way of wrestlers having other options to go wrestle for. I don't know. I feel like not TNA. I just feel like the IWC in general just wants wrestling companies to fail. And I don't understand it. I don't get it. But it is what it is. I guess I answered your question the best I could. Spaz there. TNA is on commercial. Damien says, I think we're getting Elena Black versus Indy Hartwell. I feel like that's something they can add to the Slammiversary card. If that happens, I feel like we'll go in that direction. If not, we may get Indy Hartwell versus Ariana Grace, because I know they haven't really had a one-on-one match, and Indy Hartwell continues to call out Ariana Grace and said, I'm going to beat you regardless, and they haven't had a one-on-one match. So I feel like that's where we would be headed. Almighty Pop down here says, facts, would love to hear that. And personal team AEW, don't forget Stardom. I guess that was going back to the original question of like the four companies who are better right now. I don't watch Stardom. But AEW, I did enjoy Dynamite last night. I thought it was a fun show. I really thought it was a fun show. Boston down here saying, guess who's not here? MDB. Guess who will be here tomorrow? MDB. Guess why? Because it's WWE. Damien says, do you see the Butcher and the Blade ending up back in TNA after leaving AEW? Potentially. You know who I would like to see in TNA, and while we're on the topic of that conversation, I would love to see members. They don't all have to be signed to TNA, but members of the Wyatt Six, especially oh man, I can't think of his name. He was with Indy Hartwell for a long time, and Dexter Loomis. Dexter Loomis. I would love to see Dexter Loomis in TNA with Indy Hartwell. I think it would actually help Indy Hartwell a lot. Since she signed to TNA, nothing has really changed with Indy Hartwell. So if you put Indy back together with him, I think it would work in TNA. But also TNA has to do things with their creative to make it better, right? That's kind of how I feel. Road Tide says, I'm tuning into 2 shows. I can't watch 4 shows at once. My mental health is important. I get it. Well, technically 1 show is on a Saturday, so you can watch if you have the mental capacity to watch it. You can watch Night of Champions June 27th. That's midday on a Saturday. But for that Sunday, I 100% am with you on that one. There's 3 shows that day. Main focus for me will be Slammiversary. I don't watch NXT that much to begin with, so I'm probably going to not watch Great American Bash, but I'll definitely be tuning into potentially Forbidden Door. Even though Forbidden Door is like my least favorite AEW pay-per-view, I don't actually think I've watched complete Forbidden Door. But knowing AEW and how good their pay-per-views are, I'm definitely going to be tuning into Forbidden Door. Ronan down here says Ultimate X is returning to TNA Slammiversary. Yes, Ultimate X this time. It'll be the first time in I feel like a couple of years that the Ultimate X match will determine the X Division champion. In the past couple of years, they've been using the Ultimate X match to get an opportunity for the X Division title. This time it's for the title. Even with the women, because they don't have an X Division women's title. But even with the women, when they did the Ultimate X match, it was for a future Knockouts World Championship. So I'm excited that it's actually for the X Division Championship, just like back in the day with Destination X. TNA is back. Stax and Santino are still in the ring, and I want this match to be over in this feud. I'll just say it like that. Boston Gamer, all of us who love all of wrestling are just laughing at the ones picking sides like weirdos. Absolutely. Ronan down here says Cedric Alexander to defend his X Division championship in an Ultimate X match against former champion Leon Slater, whoever else is in that match. I do feel like Eichner is going to be added in that match. Because the international championship match with Casey Navarro and Mustafa Ali was announced for the tapings this coming weekend, I think it was, Casey Navarro could potentially be added into that match. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. Yeah, we can get into that as TNA is, like I said, back from commercial. Indy Hartwell is now in the ring with Ariana Grace. But yes, Myla Grace is gone from TNA. So from my understanding of the whole situation with Myla Grace, which you won't hear from the big wrestling news sites because they just want to mess over TNA. From my understanding, Myla Grace works for OTT Wrestling in Ireland. She is Irish, and she's also contracted to TNA. And it was difficult for her to book TNA dates and book OTT dates, and she basically had to make a choice of what she wanted to do. Unlike Harley Hudson, when they were both signed to TNA Wrestling, Harley Hudson, from my understanding, relocated to the United States. But Myla Grace did not. She continues to live in Ireland, I believe. And so it's been hard for her to do both OTT and TNA, and she's the current champion over there in OTT too. That's from my understanding. The release was on good terms on both sides, on TNA side and on the side of Myla Grace. So we may potentially see Myla Grace in the future. And the visa issues that we're having in the United States is also holding up a lot of things. That is why we haven't seen Ricky Sosa. Everybody's asking where Ricky Sosa is. Apparently, there's a lot of visa issues going on, and Ricky Sosa is involved with that as well. So, trying to give you a lowdown of what's going on in the TNA backstage scene from my perspective and what I've heard. You won't get, like I said, you won't get that information anywhere else other than here, because everybody else wants to talk mess about TNA.
So. The man had the scoops before even SRS out there, but yes, Sosa, bang, bang. I did mention earlier before you got here, my guy, about, it's a bad luck situation. I know some people might have thought I was saying bad luck, but it's a bad luck situation of TNA happened into that situation of welcome to America in 2026, where if you're not from here, it's a whole other ballgame for you.
Yeah, and like you said, it's a bad luck situation. It's not TNA's fault, but TNA also signs a lot of I wouldn't say a lot, but a good portion of their talent may be from out of country. Like we've had the issue with Danny Luna earlier this year before she got asked for her release, but she had visa issues. Leon Slater had visa issues. Now we got Ricky Sosa having visa issues, and then now Myla Grace is gone, but potentially because of that. So yeah,
as Ariana just hit stacks with the Cobra.
That's what I thought. And now Indy Hartwell has the sock. Can we just end this now? Is this going to be the end?
No, we're going to get both Cobras. Dual Cobra. So Ariana Grace just not on NXT. Yeah, her or Stacks really. Well, no, they're still part of the birthright. That doesn't mean anything. Double Cobra.
Double Cobra.
3.
Well, I'm glad the crowd liked it. They're happy. Yay to the crowd.
It's been one of those situations that I feel like a lot of the matches tonight really kind of almost need to be the end of the story or the second to last thing on the story.
No, I agree with you. I think this needs to be the end. I know on your pause I mentioned Indy and Ariana, but we don't have to do that. I'm good. This needs to be the end. It feels like it's a closed book. Please do not reopen the book or do a sequel. I'm good.
Right. Well, I hate to do this to you real quick, but I have to just super quickly temporarily take a sequel of a pause for the cause.
No, you're good. You're good. I overslept. You take all the time you need. But Eric Young is up next on TNA Impact. I'm pretty sure he has some things to talk about with with him being number one contender. So I'll get back to the chat while TNA is on commercial. Tony Random, how about Tessa versus Ruka? I'm assuming you're talking about Ruka. Also, after TNA lost Josh to AEW, maybe losing Mike to WWE, who's their next big thing? So, yeah, let's talk about that, right? Josh to AEW, right? You felt like it was a big loss, and then he shows up at AEW and like nothing has really happened. I get that he's injured now, but nothing has really happened with Josh. But we transitioned from Josh to basically Joe Hendry and Nick Nemeth. They were kind of in the main event scene. And then we also transitioned from Josh, from Joe Hendry to Mike Santana. I'll just say Mike Santana because Trick Williams wasn't TNA, but he was a part of that whole thing. Slammiversary is telling because if he does leave, I'm 50-50 on Mike Santana leaving. I feel like TNA may have a hold on Mike Santana, but I also feel like money calls too, right? But if Eric Young wins the title, I feel like that's our telltale sign that Mike Santana is gone. If he wins the title.
Yeah, I think that would be a big goddamn statement right there because no one really expects EY to win.
Right.
Now, do you have Santana retain there and then drop it on a live Impact to who?
They have him announced, which is crazy. They have him, I shouldn't say announced, but they have him on the promotional posters for Lockdown and then the tapings after Lockdown. Now they don't have any promotional posters after the tapings after Lockdown because TNA likes to be far behind. But if he retains that Slammiversary, I feel like he may drop it at Lockdown if he's going to be going through Lockdown. I know they said his contract is up like the end of July, but him being advertised for Lockdown makes me wonder if he signed some type of like month or two extension, right? So if he retains that Slammiversary, I feel like Lockdown may be where he drops it, especially with Lockdown returning being one of its premier events now again, and that being in the main event, maybe a cage match between him and whoever the case may be. I feel like Lockdown might be the other place if he doesn't drop it at Slammiversary.
Now, is he all but signed, sealed, delivered to WWE once he's done with TNA? He doesn't go back to AEW, right?
I don't think he goes back to AEW. I think he, like him and Kazarian during their feud, like he openly talked about how he was disgusted basically with his AEW run and how he felt like he was on the shelf. I don't feel like he goes back to AEW. I think his option is WWE.
Go ahead.
And I shouldn't say I hate that, but knowing how like some of the other TNA folks have fared right now in WWE, I fear that Mike Santana may be lost in the shuffle. They're not really doing much with Jordynne Grace. She was injured only for like a couple of weeks. Now she's just kind of wrestling on main event. And she's not. And I thought a perfect way to kind of reintroduce Jordynne Grace to the audience would be the Queen of the Ring tournament. She's not even in that. So that's my fear with him jumping ship to WWE. Joe Hendry is doing a little something, but me and you both, we agree and disagree a little bit about the vision, but the vision sucks. And Joe Hendry doesn't need to be involving himself with the vision. And it seems like they got something started with him and I can't think of his name.
Paul before
Logan Paul, yes. And then Logan Paul tears the tricep and now he's out, right? So it's like I'm scared. Like I would be happy for Mike that he would be getting paid and getting his due, because he's put so much work into his wrestling skills and ability. But I also feel like he will be one of those that gets lost.
But does he go right to the main roster? Or does he go to NXT?
Well, I mean, the rumor suggests he's going right to the main roster.
Him and Priest. Say
that again.
Do something with him and Priest.
It would be better than him and R-Truth. So. Priest and R-Truth, so yeah.
Well, somehow something worse than R-Truth out here. Mr. Elegance is on my screen, and I know you love this brand. Can we just admit that it's very much just the Beautiful People 2.0? Oh, it's the Lights Go Out.
Oh, it's the Undead Realm folks, which I think that's
Undead Realm folks.
I think that's gonna be our title match going into Slammiversary, since all the titles are on the line.
Yo, Bunny, how you doing? Hippity hoppity, all down the bunny trail. Where's the and Mara Sade out there? We need very much some
yum.
But going back to your Eric Young is about to talk, but I really want to answer your question about the elegance.
No, you're good. Well, and two from Rosemary. Rosemary's out there. She's nice spice. I've been warning you. the shirt's kind of dope. He looks
I
like the Green Bastard from Parks
Yeah,
Unknown.
I like that shirt.
Oh, don't what him. No, I know I'm the advocate for the what's, but I do. Maybe it plays into it because he's supposed to be the kooky lunatic with the aluminum foil on his head. Rick said, "Hey, at least they're acknowledging it's a way to use it into the story."
Yeah, and it's a way to keep his name floating around too.
I really do fucking like that shirt though. I don't like a lot of current wrestling merch, respectfully outside of our own. Just saying,
it's ugly. A lot of them are ugly, even on the WWE
They're
side.
Very AI.
They kind of went downhill because I used to buy a lot of WWE shirts, even for wrestlers that I didn't like. And now
they have a dope shirt. Sometimes
a dope
shirt. Or sometimes you got to buy it because that's the only way that they'll do an interview.
Exactly.
And I still back out of it. Just saying that might have been a story, but that's a story for another day. You're sick like everyone else. They're cleansed. You need to be cleansed.
Sick with ego and addiction.
Addiction. So, can you do any other story with Mike Santana outside of he's an addict, a former addict, a recovering addict?
Well, at least
he's not a problem.
At least it wasn't like his addiction to that stuff. He said his addiction to the crowd. Because I was feeling the same way when he said addiction. I was like, oh my God, the last 3 stories for him has been around his addiction.
Well, it was Santana. But it's crazy to think that the last good one that they did with him was him and Ali, and that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, and yeah, you're right. I think that one was pure gold between those two. They tried to run it back.
In a minute.
Yeah, they tried to run it back with Steve Macklin. They brought the addiction up close to the end of it, but I feel like their feud was more of hatred towards one another. That kind of showed on screen. But yeah, the last really good feud was them two. That was fun to watch.
I here I am pitching for Delirious and Tommy Dreamer's job. I can at least do Tommy Dreamer's job. I can be a chubby, bearded kind of Italian guy in sweatpants any day. But couldn't you have done something with Santana and Macklin? They're both battle-tested vets. One's, been through the military. The other's got, their own personal battles, and they've been out there on the streets and everything like that. And they're both warriors in their own respect, and they've fought through their own personal battles to get to where they are and everything. Couldn't you have done something more akin to that kind of story?
Well, they did. Yeah, they did at the beginning because Macklin talked about losing his father at a young age, kind of finding himself in the military and things of that sort. So at the very beginning, yes, it was more about that. They didn't bring up really the addiction and the alcohol until their very, very last promo before No Surrender, where he kind of put the alcohol on the table and walked away. But I feel like they veered away a lot from the alcohol in that promo. It was just really kind of mentioned at the last little bit.
Fair enough. But Santana out here firing back to EY.
Oh, he said you haven't been relevant for the past 15 years.
He's not wrong. I'd like to see Booty with the Panthers join a younger team with Tet. Pause on Panthers and Booty. You're a dumbass hick, huh? MDB, hey, he has risen too. Mike Santana been born as a champ. He's gotten the ball and done nothing with it. Have they given him nothing to play with? Pause.
I don't think they've given him a lot to play with. I think the best thing that came out of this was I was a big fan of the Steve Macklin thing. I mean, that was kind of evident on stream. Since then, they haven't really given him anything to do with, and that's not his fault. That's more of TNA's creative.
So is Macklin just fired again then still? Is he just back of being fired?
I don't know. I have no clue. We haven't heard from him since he lost that match. So
this is why I agree with MDB of Tommy Dreamer is high key ass. Yeah, Tommy Dreamer has never really booked a good show in my eyes. I don't get how you have a guy like Sami Callihan under contract, and I get he does Wrestling Revolver. Give him the fucking pencil. Give him a crack at it. Of he's clearly got some fucking chops doing it. They need to shake something up in that creative team.
They have to. Yeah. That's one thing I agree with the TNA fandom on social media. Like, I do feel like they have to do something with creative. They got to do a shakeup in the back end. I don't know who that is, what that is, but yeah, it definitely there needs to be some type of change.
Right, but Spaz $2. We're all stars now in a dope shirt. So you got to read it like that. Says who has the more natural, scruffier voice, Eric Young or Stevie Richards? Because they both feel like they're in pain every time they talk. And I love Stevie. Stevie's a friend of the channel and everything, but
yeah,
they both feel like the air's fighting to get out.
Well, for Eric Young, it feels like he's talking through one of those things that's in your
Keith Kane. If I don't win this,
that's for Eric Young. That's what he sounds like.
No, he's a 10-pack a day, carton a day.
Right.
Triple Con. Triple Con 619. It's a new era. Slammiversary is going to change the landscape of TNA out there. It's bad. You can do like a 3-minute mashup of We Do What We Do from Triple H and all that. I could only imagine you could do an hour-long running clock, no ads of just new era and change the landscape and all of this.
See, this is why I'm a little. It seems like the world title match is next week.
Yeah.
I like the promo, by the way. I'll say that before I criticize anything. I do like the promo between these two.
Should Mike Santana do his promo? Do it right here, right now? But shouldn't Santana do hit come out? I know he's got the sunglasses, do the meta glasses. Whoa. Power driver. But you see Santana's whole view with the meta glasses as he's walking out and he's cutting the promo and everything. When he's got his whole shades, do that. Get creative with it. I think TNA's tried to do some stuff with content creators and everything.
Yeah, I like that.
Avenues that other companies won't go.
Especially with him coming through the crowd and things of that sort. Absolutely. I would like that.
It's like the Uso you eat vibe.
Right. But to get back to
why Keith Jardine, this is why Keith Jardine's been on TNA, because he's about to be on a show on AMC.
Okay. Because I didn't know who he was, to be honest.
Former MMA fighter, former UFC light heavyweight champion, I believe, out there with Chuck Liddell and Rampage and all of that, and now here starring in an AMC show.
I do know who Chuck Liddell is, so I'm not totally blind in that universe.
There you go. But we're getting the injury breakdown out here,
right? Oh, and we have this huge Wicked Garden match tonight. I just remember we're seeing the Righteous, which I'm excited about. I heard good things about it.
Yeah, well, and I said before you got on here and everything, I was like, once you're like, I'm alive, I was like, yes, finally, because we hyped up before the Bronson match that you watched when you were at the taping and everything, and you weren't here for the stream that we were watching it when it ended up on the taping. And we've been hyping this matchup since we knew it was announced,
right?
And wanted it to see it, and been waiting for the weeks. And I'm like, this man's got to be
here.
And
I almost missed it, right?
He's supposed to be here.
I literally, when I woke up, I said, why is it dark outside? And then I looked at my phone and I said, oh my God. It was just terrible. But I do want to answer your question about the Elegance brand.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think they're like a version of the Beautiful People, just like I thought Lay Cool, Michelle McCool and Layla in WWE was a version of the Beautiful People. but I kind of want to touch on what I kind of said in our group chat the other day. Like, I know the Elegance brand is not everybody's cup of tea, right? And I'm more here for the wackiness, the craziness of the Elegance brand. And I do like Ash by Elegance. I think she's improved a lot from jumping ship from WWE to TNA. But ever since Mr. and I'm trying not to hate on him, but ever since Mr.
Just let
Elegance
it flow through you.
Ever since Mr. Elegance joined the group,
the trash out king appeals on the channel. Embrace the hate.
Ever since Mr. Elegance joined the group, it has not been the same. It has not felt the same. When they announced that they were adding a Mr. Elegance in the group, I guess in my mind, I had it to where this guy was not going to be a wrestler. He was just going to come out, be in a suit, you know, dressed nicely and things of that sort, and kind of be behind the scenes with the Elegance brand, not really doing much, which is fine. Like, I don't see anything wrong with that, right? I mean, maybe he helps them win a match by grabbing someone's foot, you know, and then, you know, moving on. But I didn't think it was going to be an actual wrestler. I didn't think it was going to be someone, and I don't think he looks bad. I don't want this to come off like I'm saying that he looks bad, but I didn't think it was going to be someone that looks like him. I didn't think it was going to be an active wrestler, and I didn't think he was going to have a lot of involvement in the group other than what I said, coming out dressed as a suit, kind of being like, I would put maybe in a security guard type role, but not fully. And it just, to me, it has derailed the group. Now, I'm not saying like the group was the next big thing, number one, anything like that. I'm not delusional. I'm not crazy. I think the Elegance brand, even though with their craziness and wackiness, was a bit more serious in 2025 in a way. And because they had all the gold, you know, they had the Knockouts World title, they had the tag team titles, they were really on top of the world. And it just seems like with the addition of Mr. Elegance, they went in the way of corniness. And it's just like, I still like the Elegance brand minus Mr. Elegance, but it's just Mr. Elegance is not for me.
Well, that's because you were open for that audition. You auditioned for the role, and he got it instead of you. You were the next in line. You're like, God damn it. But no, I think MDB, you would actually agree with this with MDB. Mr. Elegance looks like an alien stuffed inside a skin suit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just
to me, they've done this gimmick before, going all the way back to, I don't know if you remember or have heard of the group of PMS of Pretty Mean Sisters of I think it was Ivory, Terry Reynolds, and Jacqueline, and they had Sean Stasiak as meat of that. You know, he got over more doing it, just being the hapless idiot and everything, and still had a bigger body and better body pause on all of this. But even then, going back to the comparison of the beautiful people, they had Cute Kip, they had Billy Gunn out there doing it, who was actually a solid wrestler, was still Billy goddamn Gunn out here with this. Mr. Elegance feels like he is he is the gingerbread man of TNA.
Yeah. He doesn't bring anything extra to the group. He doesn't he's just there. And it's not like I dislike him, and it's not like I like him. It's just like he's there, but I feel like it's just a waste and he's not needed. The group was fine with just the three of them and George Iceman as being kind of the spokesperson, the spokesman for the group. I don't think Mr. Elegance literally is what George Iceman is. That's what I feel like Mr. Elegance is.
Yeah.
And I don't think
does that kind of give a negative view of like, you see this and you're like this is on the match previews and everything. You're like, really? What are we doing with this? What is this?
Right, exactly. And I mean, when this was announced, like when this came across my phone, I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing? This makes no sense.
Right. I got Ali out here. Should Ali just go towards the world title at this point? Like, if speaking of people that Santana should lose the world title to, if Santana's out the door, Ali's the guy. Ali's the guy that, honestly, to me, should be kind of the flag bearer, the flag waver, the guy running the ship for TNA. And it works into the political gimmick and everything. He goes into that whole, this is how we're going to make TNA great again.
No, absolutely. Mustafa Ali is one guy you want to put in that world title scene. Even if Trey Miguel was like healthy, I could see because Trey Miguel has bulked up a lot. He's looking big now. Yeah. I feel like Trey Miguel is one that you could put in that world title scene. But absolutely, when it comes to Mustafa Ali, I feel like should be the next world champion.
Random question that you might know because you're more the resident TNA insider than I would. Why do they have all the drinks on the announce table, but they don't ever advertise the brand that they are? Like every time they cut to the announce desk, there's like a row of like drinks that look like they would be like Prime bottles if they could get Prime.
Yeah.
But they never announce what brand it is or anything. So it just looks like they've got a bunch of trash on the desk. Like these guys have been just pounding drinks.
I know it is their drink sponsor. I do know that. But they rarely do advertise it, like who their drink sponsor is. Every once in a while you'll hear it on commentary. They'll say this match is brought to you by and the brand of the drink, but they rarely mention it. They just have it sitting there on camera, like Prime in a little bit, WWE's Prime.
There you go. Pre-Mat is now the new official drink sponsor of TNA out there, folks. If you're out there already getting hot and bothered, especially in these summer and spring weathers out there with everything that's going on in the pro wrestling, make sure you get your Pre-Mat shirts today at the Wrestling for Life merch store. And we're now, I guess, officially, we've already got the Nike swooshes on some of the merch. And now we're the official drink sponsor, unofficially, of TNA.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ditto
what Nick shameless said. Plug moment.
All right, so we're about to get this awful Mr. Elegance.
See, I did that. I was trying to distraction, weapons of mass distraction out here. As even Iceman's trying to get this over here. We got Spaz with a $10 super chat. Latest state of wrestling dropped last night. How can I see it? How can I see it to you? Question mark. We got a new thumbnail. Who's a what now? Yeah, that'll do. Tony wasn't here at the start, so happy Men's Mental Health Month, my guy.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We definitely have to focus on the men's mental health because that's a lost cause in this society, I feel like.
Well, when you have dumb shits like Dana White out there, pretty much going completely against it and everything. Sorry, I know I'm not going to go fully into it how I want to because that's not what we do on this channel. But yeah, Dana, respectfully, shut the fuck up. You don't speak for anybody with that, and you're doing more damage than anything. Fuck you. Respectfully, as somebody who deals with that on the daily, fuck you. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
As I go for that, now this Mr. Elegance, I'm like, nothing good to go to now.
I don't have high hopes for this match, but it would be shocking if this actually turns out to be fairly decent. We'll see. I don't know.
Alan, Paige Collette, AW or WWE. Well, I actually know Paige, or I've kind of actually chatted with her, but she's doing the ring rat stuff with JCW. I think she's just gonna stay there. I don't know. Is there anybody you've heard or think that's on the radar that could be going to a TNA? Outside of like a Dexter or something that feels like it almost might be obvious.
Not really. I haven't heard like mainstream names of anybody heading to TNA. I've heard some indie wrestlers. I can't even give you their names off the top of my head. But not really anybody mainstream.
Right. Well, and Mr. Elegance, happy Pride. Don't put it that way, but also, yes, happy Pride Month as well out there too. We got two very important months going at the same time, and they're battling it out for who's most important, I feel. But yes, everybody check on everybody and everybody love everybody.
I don't know what Mr. Elegant, like even the things that he does annoys me. Like he was standing on the turnbuckle doing this, and it's like, what?
You are the definition of a hater. Like this is Anthony's haters ball right now. Well, I hate the way you breathe. I hate the way you breathe. Like I hate the air the universe, the space you exist
right in. Just everything about it annoys me. I'm trying to see though on Twitter if that world title match is announced for next week. They mentioned it a couple of times, but let me see.
fair enough. As so, Mr. Elegance, who looks like, he looks like if Jack Perry and the kid from, I don't know, is it from Jerry Maguire or something, that like if they had a child together. Like he looks like a child actor that never fully grew up. Now, there's this thing is it's not even it's because it's an intergender match or anything. Like Christ, I was at the in SmackDown when they did Oscar versus James Ellsworth. Oh, you can do intergender wrestling well. It's just this means nothing to nobody in all of this.
No, it means nothing. And Russell Rant's, wait, what the F is this match? I'm with you. I don't know what this is. But it's not about it being intergender. Absolutely, because we had two good intergender matches earlier this year with TNA, with Mara Sade and Ryan Nemeth, right? You know, we've seen Jordan Grace in there with Matt Cardona a few times. It's not about it being intergender at all. It's just it being Mr. Elegance.
Well, it's just it makes no sense towards nothing.
Yeah.
Lei Ying Lee is feuding with Zaya Brookside. She's not doing anything with the Elegance brand. The Elegance brand is feuding with, as you've called them, the Undead Realm folk. Undead Realm peoples, I should say. I think I had to say it right.
I guess he's throwing the Elegance brand out.
What the?
Now that was pretty. Now him doing it was pretty cool. Mr. Elegance doing it was not. But yeah, like you said, like Lei Ying Lee is feuding with Brookside. The Elegance brand is feuding with the Undead Realm folks until we get it. I don't know if they're going to be called the Deaf Dolls or whatever. But this is just. We got to this match because he tripped Lei Ying Lee up last week in the championship challenge match, and this is where we are. So,
right. Well, speaking of someone who's here, Patrick Michael saying Truth Social is garbage and anything but truthful. Gee, what gave that away? But could we see Andre Chase in TNA? Well, now he's the Professor Andre something or other. It's close to Chase, but not Chase.
Right. I don't know. I don't know if we see him in TNA.
Oh, this is so he's Mr. Elegance is heading the Devil's Kiss on Xia Li. Just saying, this is a low TNA moment, respectfully, Anthony. I know, but this is a low TNA. This is you're giving the haters ammunition. We're really gonna so the Zaya Brookside's on commentary as no one sells the fact that, by the way, he hit the fucking Devil's Kiss on Ying Lee. They were all talking to Zaya Brookside.
Exactly. And that's a good thing. Let's talk to Zaya Brookside and not talk about what we just saw. I think that's
I need Booker T out there. Yeah.
Please, put him away. Put him away, please.
Oh, aloha, Iron Spot.
Yes, Damien, I'm with you. This match is not for me either.
But it's been a good bit of that so far. Think about this. You had the segment that was happening as you were, good morning, Starshine. The world greets you.
That was a nasty left hand. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That wasn't well received as a segment. Then you followed it up with the Santino Grace match, which wasn't a good match and something you, even as a TNA diehard, weren't behind. And now we go into this, which again, you as a TNA ride or die ain't behind. Mm-hmm. Are they testing your patience?
And that's what I kind of said in our chat the other day. It was like, the good thing about TNA is that they have consistent storylines. The bad thing about TNA is a good portion of them are not good. It's just like the only thing I've seen, which I did miss a good portion of the first hour. The only thing that I've really enjoyed so far tonight was the Santana and Eric Young segment. That was fun.
Fair enough. I think this whole show is just getting to the Wicked Garden match.
Yeah, honestly. I think so, and I know that'd be great. I hope it'd be great. At least
I would. I'm hoping, and I would have done segments throughout the whole show, building up
to hyping that
event.
Yeah,
I've been recently like noticing this a lot, especially a bit with AEW at times, and I'm starting to even see it with WWE. Of they don't build to their main events really throughout the fucking show. They really kind of like do it at the beginning, and then they pop it in like the last hour.
Yeah. It would have been cool to kind of see vignettes throughout the night of like the Hardys preparing for the match and the Righteous preparing for the match. Maybe what a promo between
broken. How did we get here?
Exactly. Because I do feel like this may be the end of their feud. That was a nasty right hand. I am going to say that.
Missed by a country fucking mile.
That was a nasty right hand. He about took her head off with that.
Oh, he was a fucking mile and a quarter away.
He was? Did I miss that?
At least to me, it looked like he was just a bit outside. But no, I still think that we're gonna get a Hardy's compound match at like Slammiversary between those two. That would be
cool. That would be cool. Okay, I'm down with that too.
Gone on since the start of AMC.
Yeah, and this is one of the feuds that I've like. At first, it was like, okay, this is great, and then they went into being partners. Oh, she's going for the Warriors Way. Please put him away with the Warriors Way.
Hey, what do you say? Let's go the Warriors Way down by the bay.
There goes Brookside. If he pins her,
gouge the eyes. No, Sister Abigail. No fucking way. Well, kind of a clunky DDT thing out of it, but 1, 2, 3. And peacocks on top of her. Peacocks, literally peacocks on top of her.
You have this man pin your Knockouts champion?
Peacock, you gotta let me fly!
I don't
know. It's in there. Yeah. Let him have it. Let him have it, Anthony. Release the hate. Tell him what they need to hear.
You're newly crowned champion. You're newly crowned champion. You're freaking newly crowned champion. She's been champion, 3 weeks? And you have Mr. Elegance pin your...
After she just won it from Ariana Grace, and she is taking on Aussie Britney Spears knockoff Zaya Brookside.
So at Slammiversary is going to be them too. Which I kind of figured that.
This is just officially bad, right? This is just bad.
I don't like what... I don't get why they had it. This could have ended in a disqualification, to be honest. But even I saw one fan in the crowd stand up like, what was that? Like,
well, and they kind of do the boos.
Yeah.
No one fucking cares. Like, it's just bad all the way around. No one gained anything out of that. Zaya Brookside is not a bigger heel because of that now.
No,
I don't care more about that match. If anything, I care less about that match because you just made, like you said, your new champion like a fucking jobber.
It's not important. Like it's not important. It doesn't do anything for Brookside. It doesn't do anything for Lei Ying Lee other than making it look stupid.
I don't know if I need to say clip this right now or just let you know it's an hour and 32-ish into the stream, but I need you or someone out there to clip you even saying it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. With Britt Baker, nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's
right?
The same kind of vibe.
And now, and not even just that, made me mad because it just did. But the 2 title matches I thought we were getting at Slammiversary are next week. The world title match is next week. It came up at the bottom of the screen. The world title match is next week, and the international championship match is next week. I don't know. I'm a bit confused as we head to Slammiversary. I'll just say it like that.
Fair enough. Well, I'll read this from Spaz that confuses me. And we missed it, though, with a $2 super chat saying y'all touched on Nick Nama's Punk accusations. I haven't seen anything with this. The most I've seen is Punk's out there looking like the goddamn Swolverine. He's on that AJ Styles, Randy Orton rehab package.
I think you got the wrong Nemeth. I think it was Ryan Nemeth that had some Punk accusations. I believe Ryan said something about Punk maybe taking some stuff to make himself look bigger.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, Ryan's already had plenty of issues with Punk. Isn't he actively suing AEW because of being barred from Collision or something? So, yeah, take that with a grain of salt. If it's one of those, if you know where the source is coming from,
right?
Although I will admit, I swear to God, I thought any picture that I've seen of Punk, they've all been in filters and everything, so I don't know if they're real or not. But if that's real, that man's he's trying to come for that tribal chief out there.
He is that for sure, jacked.
Right.
But yeah, we do have the Wicked Garden match, which looks like it's going to go the rest of the length of the episode of TNA. So hopefully this is good, which I think it is going to be good. I heard a few people that went to the show said they really enjoyed this match. So I am expecting something good to come out of this tonight.
Well, and the most kind of clips, I haven't seen much as to like even what really the true step is or who wins or anything, but the kind of clips I've at least seen of what happened in the ring made it look more like it's just kind of like a hardcore. There's barbed wires. It's like if hippie hardcore was a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I saw one picture where kind of like the ropes were tied in like leaves and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see the look of how they have it tonight. That I think that would be one of my favorite parts of how they how they transferred the match by elegance with Jordan Grace and Ash by elegance into this like whole everything is kind of bedazzled and stuff like that. I kind of figure it'd be something similar to that, but in a Wicked Garden style.
Right. See, MDB, okay, so I'll believe you. I'll trust your word on this one, my guy. If that Punk photo was AI tattoo, yeah, because I'm like I was looking for even the Pepsi one, and that fucker grew like that was a whole shield on his arm out there.
But for the time being, I'm gonna take a pause here and leave you guys with Big Nick.
Anthony's got to go adjust his alarm clocks here. As we're still in a commercial right now. So it looks like we're going to get the last half hour or so of just kind of dedicated to the Wicked Garden, which maybe kind of hopefully should have, would have, maybe could have been the end of the feud between the Righteous and the Hardys. I still think they might get one little less squeeze out of this, but I'm still wondering where they're going. Maybe are they hoping they can drag their feet long enough with this that maybe they can convince some of the Wyatts outside of just Dexter? You get a Bo, Bo would be kind of one of the crucial ones that you would have to get to have it feel that way, maybe. Or if you get a Cross, but I think he's locked in with MLW, and honestly, W's kind of beating TNA. Actually, I'd say more than just kind of. Excuse me, but so they're setting up the ring for the Wicked Garden. So it is. There's no countouts. There's no this. There's no that. So wherever there are flowers, there is barbed wire as well. So they've got a couple of wickets of the Christ. What do they? I don't even know what you call them. As you did, what I'm saying was we get the Righteous coming out here. Where's Jose? I need Jose for the Righteous, but the garden wooden slab things that you can have vines and all that grow up it and everything. They've got a couple of those in the corners instead of tables with some flowers on it and some barbed wire, and a couple of the ropes are covered in barbed wire. So If anything, this should be the one match that everybody's going to be talking about for pretty much the next couple of weeks when it comes to TNA. So you got the whole posse out here. Anybody recognize anybody out there that's being the covenant, the convent out there behind the congregation behind the righteous? Even Dutch out here with Dutch looks like he's either playing. He looks like he's hippie Ric Flair. I was almost going to say it's like Mr. Heatmiser, Mr. Frostmire, or whatever, but he's hippie Ric Flair out here. He's got the robe and all that, but Vincent out here, which again, friend of the channel, shout out. But I'm hoping this is good. Let me know right now, folks, what is your number rating, or even just thumbs up, thumbs down of how you feel going into this match, what you think this is going to be. And even if you want to double dip, honey dip, of do you think that this is the last match between the Hardys and the Righteous? Yes. Or do we continue on and we get a Hardy compound? Who invited Spooky John Good? Yes, that is 100. Thank you. 100% MDB. He is definitely John Goodman's character from The Big Lebowski. Spooky. 150% is that what Dutch is. Absolutely fucking nailed it. You give him a haircut, and that's where it is. So we're getting the Broken Hardys fished out here. But do we get the cutaways? Do we get a Willow? Do we have a full Brother Nero? Yeah, so we've still got the whole congregation out here. But what is this? So, yeah, I feel like they're going to do still something cinematic. And maybe that's something that TNA can do really good. And Christ, that's where the Broken Hardy gimmick all started and originated and was built from, with them in TNA. So maybe they can pull it off one more time. But Carlos out here, because Carlos, it's starting to become a thing, and we all just need to address it. And we'll just talk about the Carlos in the room. Why is Carlos out there all the time? Do they have an official Carlos chair? Should we do Carlos chair merch and it's just a wheeled chair, just happens to be sitting there? Because I don't really get it. I know that he's a fan, and he's TNA is Tony Khan, but not Tony Khan at all. He just kind of looks like him. But he tries to do of, I'm going to be there to present the titles and everything, which I don't even think this is a title match. But why is Carlos every week on screen just sitting there at ringside? Like, make some decisions, sign some people, do something else. Of the last that I've heard, I think the first time I've heard Carlos talk as the congregation's leaving, as we're getting the match about to start. Of the one time I really heard Carlos talk was when he was going at Tony Counterbook. So we start all of that and we go to commercial. All right, fair enough. Folks, stay tuned as we're getting Ric Flair in a commercial. But yeah, am I up creek with something with this, with what's going on with Carlos, or what? Am I the only one that sees it? But it doesn't make sense to me, dog. Why is that a thing? You don't need it. You need to trim some of this extra convolutedness. If Carlos was D'Amore, fans wouldn't have any issues with it. No. And honestly, I think D'Amore gets a lot of a pass to a lot of the more, I don't want to say casual, but I'll say casual just for the sake of convenience, of like the TNA fans and the TNA lores, because trust me, you mentioned Scott D'Amore around Anthony, he gonna cut a promo. But Scott D'Amore was very much more in bed with AEW and was very much trying to make it more his company and not trying to really play ball, if that makes any bit of sense. I'll give him credit of he can book, but he didn't have TNA's true best intentions I feel when it came to his reign booking or head of creative. So I definitely wouldn't put him next to Carlos or think that like, oh, if he shows up, everybody be loving it. I think it would be an interesting turn. I still say you've got Sami Callihan on the roster, can use him, do him with creative, and you don't need Carlos at ringside. Or even Christ, get a fucking Road Dogg out there. We all owe Road Dogg an apology because SmackDown somehow managed to get worse when he left. So yeah, have him be in charge of creative out there. Yeah, Scott, see, Paul, Scott is a cornball. He's got something there. Like there's something with Scott D'Amore. He's clearly got something, but it's just very much Scott D'Amore has Scott D'Amore's best interest at all times. It very much seems of he's not a guy that seems like he's a team player unless you're on his team, and even then, you better be on his team and his team only. Fun fact: there's a Woodstock, Illinois. Fair enough. Well, you knew that. Fun fact: there's a Woodstock that's a yellow bird in the Snoopy cartoons and comic strips. I don't know where. I guess because we were probably going with the whole Woodstocky kind of New York vibes with the Righteous, which actually isn't a bad show. I said it earlier when they were doing the first video package earlier in the stream of they're very much like if the Wyatt family was in like the 60s or 70s. Like if they were in California instead of Louisiana, that's what the Wyatt family would be the Righteous with, you know, all the flowers and you dig it, brother. And it still really always sucks to think. And I know don't get caught up in the fantasy books and everything, but what could have been, what should have been in some alternative universe, how would it have played out if you had the cross, if you had the Righteous, if you had the ultimate vision of what the Wyatt family, what Wyndham's whole vision ultimately should have and could have been, of what would have that looked like? Now we're getting a little of the scraps and what could be's, and that you can still do right by it, and especially if WWE is the anti-spooky, TNA go full spooky. But I still always wish what could have been. And that's the big what if I feel in wrestling. I just cringed from how you pronounce Illinois. Illinois? How am I supposed to pronounce it? The S is silent. Illinois. Oh, Illinois. Well, actually, but fair enough. No, Illinois. I just realized I was behind on the stream and I pressed live, and Nick has the same comment up still. The hell are you, Boston? Now I got you up. You deal with it. Listen, okay? I've been talkative enough out here. We're down to the main event. As we got the Wicked Garden match, we've got the Righteous versus the Hardys. Let me know who you have for this match. As maybe Anthony's tiptoeing by the windows out there. But we're about to get Bell Ring out here. And again, can anyone confirm is this a title match that I'm not aware of or something? Because why is Carlos here? And we're definitely going to get the tattered and torn and the barbed wire. But it feels like the Righteous are trying to pull this more and more out of the Hardys. Like they're enjoying this. Look at them. They're smiling. It's like Mick Foley coming off the Hell in a Cell. Look at him. He's smiling.
All right. We're back.
Yeah. Look at him. He's smiling.
So this is not a title match. They don't have the titles. The system have the tag team titles.
Oh,
so this
fair
is just
enough.
like,
even then, I'm a bad TNA fan.
So this is just for what, bragging rights, the end of this feud potentially.
But I don't.
Which I feel like in the back half of this feud has gotten better. That middle where they were like teaming together, I didn't get it. But the back half has been fun between these two teams.
Oh.
One of the good stories is going on in TNA, I should say.
But it's been going on since the start of TNA on AMC, and that's the thing is they started off as enemies, they teamed together, and they went back to being enemies. Do you have to just do a cinematic to end this? Like,
I feel like this is the end. I do feel like this is the end, but we'll see. They're already chanting "This is awesome" because Dutch went through whatever that was in the corner.
Well, so they've got so the ropes with anything that has flowers on it also has barbed wire.
Ooh, I like that.
So like the ropes that Jeff's in right now have barbed wire. The little viney thing, not veiny thing, viney thing that Dutch got slammed through had barbed wire on it.
Ah, okay.
But am I wrong? If we pretty much when they first kind of brought out the Broken Hardys, we both were saying it looked like Vincent was trying to pull that out. Like he didn't care about the outcome of I'm just trying to pull something out of you, and it feels like they're still kind of trying to do that. Oh,
yeah.
shoes.
Yeah, that's exactly what he was trying to do is pull that out of them. And I think they're still trying to, which would come to your point of potentially having a what is it, a compound match, a Hardy compound match.
Yeah, as so Dutch is trying to start to bleed as he's again getting. Oh, so they're just straight clawing him now.
Yeah, what is that? Was that
gardening tools? It's when you're trying to rake up the soil and everything.
Okay.
Side effect from Vincent onto Matt, actually pretty interesting.
Yeah.
What was I going to click on? I don't remember. I'll just start here. There's about to be a lot of carnage in this match, and I'm here for it because I love the Hardys. Ooh, barbed wire on the face.
Oh.
I saw MDB sit there. Oh, somebody said that Jeff Hardy picked the wrong day to wear fishnets, and yeah, for goddamn sure. Nick almost just slipped up and told us about his Saturday nights. What? Saturday Night Lives? Saturday Night Delights? The freaks come out at night. Jeff swinging away on Dutch out here.
Okay, so Matt Hardy has been busted open too. Ooh.
As he's wearing a shirt of him being busted open on his shirt. So he's very much going obvious is obvious out here. Which is why I don't feel like this is going to be the end. I feel like this is still going to. I don't know who you think wins this. Like, who wins this match?
I feel like the guys that created this match, the Righteous, need to kind of win, right?
You would hope it would make sense.
And they've kind of been losing a lot too, the Righteous. So I feel like they kind of need this in this feud.
They get the win to lead to the compound because I still
right.
TNA can do the cinematics at least with the compounds. They'll do it, and it's always got that special little vibe because that's where it started.
What if it's not a compound and it's actually the ladder match they've been advertising? I don't know. Unless you think that's for the tag team titles.
I think it's for the tag team title. Well, it's also even then, is that any different than what we've been seeing?
True. Yeah, I think the compound match would be better.
These groups kind of live in the supernatural.
Right.
Let them get a little supernatural with it.
Oh, he used the drink that we were talking about that they never advertised.
Unknown fluid. I almost wanted to call it water, and I don't know if I can call it water as we go to commercial. So Matt Hardy, Dutch are both busted open. Jeff Hardy's just throwing fluid at people. That's all I can call it because I don't know what it actually is.
I think it's called game something. Let me see if I can Google it so we can have a name for it.
Yeah, boss, I see you. Shush up. We just be fooling in the chat on Thursday. Yeah, well, I've seen a couple of y'all have your own little private conversations that I didn't want to interrupt on or anything out there, but yeah, moderate respect.
A-Game, the ultimate in hydration. That's the name of the drink, A-Game.
A-Game.
Yeah.
It's brought to you by Chris Jericho. You will never need hydration again.
Yeah, unknown fluid was wild for you to say, though. I agree down there with
what did you want me to call it?
I called it a drink because that's what it was. That's what it is, a drink. But unknown fluid. That's
listen. How are you? Even Boston out there calling me out to where I almost slipped up with that little veiny thing instead of that little viney thing. And sometimes the words just be Freudian. Yes, no. Again, as Anthony takes a sip of his pre-med, I almost didn't want to do the whole ad again, but afternoon delight. No, that's what will be here tomorrow for Friday Night SmackDown, as I believe coming out of Bologna, Italy. But yeah, WWE very much still on their European tour, so all the afternoon smacks and downs and everything, because we'll be live when they're live, because especially we got the international hookup with KJ out there. But
absolutely. Yeah. So they're still on their overseas tour. I thought that ended Monday, but apparently
they're still kind of going. Yeah, they're going to be there for a minute, and because then think about it, because then they go that, and then they go right into going to Night of Champions.
Yeah, so which is inside.
Do a little layover in the States, and then go back over to where towards Night of Champions. They don't even know if SmackDown's really going to actually be on Friday, or if it might end up on like a Tuesday, because they'll definitely be taping it. So I don't know if they're going to just do it live then, or tape it and then just everybody gets it at 8 right before Night of Champions.
Okay.
Because they're doing the 2 shows in the O2, I believe, and then they're flying over to Saudi, and which bold strategy, Cotton, flying over to the Middle East right now. Bold strategy, Cotton.
Very bold.
It seems like that's why they're doing it. Of we're going to go, we're going to get in, and we're going to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, get in and get out, basically. Yeah, it's still very bold for them to do that. In this circumstances, in this time of things, it's kind of bold for them to still be having Night Champions. Maybe it's like they are contractually obligated to do it and they just can't back out. I don't know.
Yeah, it has nothing to do in coincidence with that Outkast song "Bombs Over Baghdad" or anything like that. Not at all. No coincidence or anything.
Right.
But yeah. You will get blocked here if you don't try to calm me down. Right? What? Marvelous. I don't think you need to start calling shots on anybody. If everybody love everybody, I'm going to be fucking what's his name? Will Ferrell in the fucking basketball movie, just yelling at the back of the bus. Everybody love everybody. That's what it is. It's Pride Month. It's Men's Mental Health Month. We're watching Thursday. We're watching the Wicked Garden out there. Everybody love everybody.
Oh, shoot. So Jeff Hardy was dropped on that barbed wire board, and then his face went into the barbed wire again with like a face plant.
Well, so Jeff Hardy's a walking caught up in something, because he's always wearing fishnet. He's got all the gauges.
Exactly.
Laney Orton doing screwdrivers and pliers and everything. This man's a walking tackle box.
Right?
And so now they're just pulling at the barbed wire that's still caught up in Jeff. They're trying to free him from it. You can see it.
Oh, yeah, he's caught.
This is why you don't wear fishnet.
Exactly. You don't do that.
You fucking tackle box.
You don't do that.
Right. Fun fact, Drake will be throwing to AJ Brown, and then he'll still finish second. MDB fun fact. Oh, fun fact, Drake turned the 0-2 and the 0-3. God damn you both.
Surprisingly, I actually know that line, and it comes from the song.
Yeah, well, it's only been MDB dropping Iceman references for a month straight. But so we've got a barbed wire crown of thorns, and so Vincent's the only one not busted open so far.
Right. Wait, I don't think Jeff is either, or is he?
No, he is on his forehead.
Oh, okay.
So Vincent's now tangling. Oh, he's undoing Jeff from the barbed wire so he can throw him into the ring.
He was caught on that barbed wire and whatever that other thing is.
Yeah. Boston, Nick, you guys couldn't even finish first last season when our team was mid with an easy schedule. Yeah, sure, you're gonna have that anymore. What I'm mad at. We'll see how this plays out. The Rams are going to be the team to beat, though, respectfully. Everybody's about to be going down damn near through the Rams. Josh Allen throwing the UFL. Why was no DJ Moore, Khalil Shakir, 100%. And we might even get Diggs back. What was he talking about? Oh, Jeff Hardy or Rice, Matt Hardy with a barbed wire. Whoa. Oh, this is what makes it cool with the Righteous wearing all white. It's like Dutch is painted in red.
Painted in red, and that was an uncomfortable shot.
I would, to say the least.
That was very uncomfortable. I'd just say it like that. He continues to get tangled in this barbed wire.
That, Jeff.
Oh, it's in his hair now. Oh, and then
he's just like, hello. He looks like a prop in a in Halloween.
Look, the hair is caught on. Jeff Hardy chose the wrong attire tonight.
He's a walking tackle box.
Right.
He's got hooks, he's got holes, he's got nets, he's got everything. He's got shit stuck to his ass. He's got a crown of barbed wire stuck to his ass. He's got a fucking tail. Okay.
Ooh, they're putting the barbed wire around his head. Well, Vince is about to be busted open with this.
Oh, Dutch saves the day. So they've got at least like 8 minutes before the show goes off. So
right, we still got like a lot of wrestling with this.
Yeah, but you might be right. This might be the end because they're beating the piss, tar, and leather out of each other.
Right. Everybody's kind of on their feet for this. This has been the best part of TNA tonight.
Now, if you've been to the tapings, I haven't. If you're show 2 through a taping and you end the night with this before you're driving home, is this when you're chanting again, this is awesome, all that, when you get that energy back up? Because I feel like this wasn't like out the gate on a taping.
No, this doesn't look like it's out the gate. It could have been the ending of the night 1 tapings, I feel. Seeing how packed the crowd is, and from being there, night 1 is always a larger crowd than night 2, because I've been to a couple.
One of the 5 fingers head in the face.
Ooh. So this could have been the ending of night 1, to be honest.
What is he hitting them with? He's just straight slapping them in the face. Side effect. 1, 2 count. Yeah, that would have been a weird way to end that match of Jeff Hardy.
With a random side effect.
Hitting the whisper in the wind or anything like that, turns around and hit just one of the 5 fingers head in the face.
Wait, is Jeff going to the top rope with that?
Oh, spear through the wickets. So it technically took out Jeff because Jeff had it pulled up. He was going to kind of use that to catapult.
There's a 2-for-1 special there.
Paul asking you a question. Anthony, you've been to the tapings. Are there anybody actually there?
Are there people in the live crowd tonight?
How do the tapings fill out there? That you
I mean, they only had half the arena open. That's with most TNA shows that I've been to, is always only half the arena open. And yeah, there were people there. Like I said, night one, it was larger than night two. And it's always been, even when Scott D'Amore was president and running TNA, night one was larger than night two. It's just that's what it is.
We're getting gloves, as now we've got Jeff tied up in the ropes with the barbed wire. We're getting a surgical glove put on as we're freeing Matt. Well, we can't use the glove. The glove doesn't work. We've got a backup glove. The backup
glove. Oh, the other glove is ripped, it looks like.
Oh.
Or is that a glove? What is that?
This is that fucking elderberry? What is this? Like, I cast upon thee a spell of... What the fuck? Is it... Does it have wire in it? What was that?
The only thing I can think of being garden related is that poison ivy.
No, that's some leafy looking shit. That was some flowers. That man just stuck a fucking daisy in his mouth and blah. Yeah, no, all right. This is... We've stayed our welcome and we've outkicked it. We've gone too far. We've gone too long. Yeah, even Rona. What? Jeff Hardy was about to get. Did he have? Was it something they knew he had an allergic reaction to? Does someone need an EpiPen for Jeff? Did it have barbed wire in it? So we've just split his mouth open because they didn't do a goddamn good case of fucking explaining that.
What that was. The commentary didn't even know. They were like, "What is that?" I mean, whatever it is putting him in a state of.
What are the Vince Russo sleep paralysis flower from Zimbabwe that no one's ever fucking heard of ever? Is that Wolfsbane? No one cared who I was till I was the flower stuffed into Jeff Hardy's mask or in the face. What is Wolfsbane? What does that do with anything? It feels like Wolfenstein or fucking game or something. Yeah, what is he doing? He's like he's Papa Shangoing. He's foaming from the mouth.
What? Yeah.
Someone, honestly, I'll be a complete idiot right now. Here. What is Wolfsbane?
I'm intrigued. I'm sorry. Like, what is that?
Medic. Yeah, what? So they randomly just gave Jeff Hardy an allergic reaction.
Since something. Match.
What the fuck was that?
Like, I want to just Google like poisonous flowers.
I'm looking up Wolfsbane right now. No, because that was white. Wolfsbane is purple. So already, no, that's not what that was. It was just some random. It looked like some goddamn like daisies or something. And they're stuffed in his mouth, and now he's having an episode, and he's still in the match. What is it? This has to be the end. Black Hole Slam. Do they get the win here, and then you get the compound?
I think they get the win here. I feel like they have to get the win here.
Oh, he popped off a Dutch into the fucking cutter. That's clever. 3 counts.
Sunshine. That's the end. I want to know what that flower was.
Just stare at the flowers, Jeff. Just stare at the flowers. Yeah, what? He's out there and was foaming from the mouth. He was full Ultimate Warrior Papa Shangoing. And then is fine to continue the match. And so, all right. Carlos is just giving them the crown of thorns or whatever, the wreath. Respect to your mans.
Definitely.
Why is Carlos here all the time?
Crown of thorns, the kind of thing. I I need to know what that. I'm still stuck on that poison, that whatever that flower was. I need to know what that was. That was good. I enjoyed that match.
Oh, you and I disagree.
I enjoyed that match. That was good. I still want to know what that freaking flower is, though.
Wait, Wolfbane and Noah? No, not that. It was a flower. It was a plant. Yeah, never mind. Wolfbane is purple. I have no clue what the. Yeah, that's the thing. Is so you can like that all you want. It started all right. So Vincent's wearing literally the wreath. Oh, lights out. Is that how we just end the show? Lights out and the hearters are gone. So we're not done here.
Definitely not done.
But A, why does Carlos always need to be here? B,
I don't have honestly, Nick, I don't have an answer to that question because it really doesn't bother me. Like I don't have a problem with Carlos coming out. It's not like he's getting on the mic and cutting a promo. He's handing the wrestler something and going back to his seat. So I don't really have an answer to that.
That's fine. Fair enough. I'll move on from that. But even then, still with the match, it was good. And then it felt like it started to overstay and kind of go too long. And we didn't know where we're fully going with. Like the second the flower shit got involved, we're still trying to play who done it, what is it. That's when they lost me. It's like the MJF Roosh match of last night on Dynamite. Was a good match until they did the doctor stoppage during the picture-in-picture. Roosh headbutts a doctor, and the match just continues on and goes fucking sideways from there. That's what that felt like. We had something that was there, and then it just went sideways towards the end.
I totally disagree. I don't think it went sideways. I think what they did was they took Jeff Hardy out with whatever that was to win the match. I wish it was explained better of what that plant was, but I don't think it derailed the match or anything. The crowd was into it. I enjoyed that because the rest of the show was not great. I think that I'm not gonna say it saved the show because I don't believe one main event can save a show when the rest of the show was bad. But I enjoyed that. I didn't have a problem with how that went down at all.
Fair enough. Agree to disagree. Is AR1 contributing? Looked like a hemlock flower. Super Bears, Lily of the Valley.
Yeah,
we're just naming. We're naming Lavender.
I wonder if they'll say it on like the injury report or something on TNA socials, but I really want to know what that was. I don't know what that was, and I need to know.
Right. Boston, no, that Rush MJF match was lit last night until it wasn't, until the doctor stoppage, until now. There might be a true doctor stoppage with MJF. I don't even think we've got a full chance to talk about that briefly before we say goodnight here, but MJF hyperextends his knee after the match with Roosh and now might be hopefully not on the bench because that'll fuck up a lot of AEW plans for their whole summer.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I did see that news today. So I don't know. Get well soon, Mr. MJF.
Yeah, I forgot you hate MJF. So I'm like, I'm the guy, poor MJF. And you're like, hop to the queue. I'll sign your cast and you start hitting it.
Right.
Almighty Pop, I guess Jeff got transformed into Willow for next week. I don't know, 5 out of 10 show. They almost had a 6.5, but they lost me at the end. Thoughts? Yes, folks, let us know your ratings out of 10 before we pack it in for the evening out here. What did you think of TNA Impact? And last thing that catching off guard, because we haven't talked about it because I brought it up at the beginning. 22 years of Impact. This was a 22-year anniversary today of Impact being an actual show, my guy.
Yeah, definitely 22 years. And to me, it just shows like for the folks that say TNA is dying and all that other stuff, we know creative is not good. This company has went from, to the highest of highs to the lowest of lows, back to a medium, standard. Like the only way this company is going to go down is if somebody big buys them or that God himself has to come down from his throne and be like, this is the end, because this company has survived the worst out of the worst. So yeah.
Why do I feel like both of those situations involve Vince McMahon or something that Vince McMahon created?
Right. But my rating for tonight, I'm with everybody. I'm at a 6. I could literally technically go lower if I wanted to. I did miss the first 30 minutes, so I have to go back and see that. But from the AJ Francis promo all the way up to the start of the main event, it was not good. I'll say it like that.
Fair enough. I thought I was gonna be low. Now I feel like I need to do some limbo. How low can you go?
Right.
If you're at a 6 and I'm talking this, that, and the third about it, and you're disagreeing and saying I'm too harsh on it, so do I need to go lower than you?
No, I mean, you give what you have to give. I mean, I was technically at a 5 until we got to the main event. I was
okay. So then, fair enough. So then I'll just pull the Band-Aid off out there. As Super Bear saying that Boston saying I'm at a 6. Roland saying good night, gentlemen. AAA will be in charge of creative 2026.
He says that to annoy me every week. I love it.
6 out of 10 knee pads, 7 out of 10, 9 out of 10 because I got Marasade. No, this was 5. This barely made it through the uprights. This was a 6-yard field goal, and it just happened to make it through. This could have very easily been wide right. I feel this. Do they need to change up the formatting, the 4 shows and a live show, and then take 4 shows and a live show? Do they need to? Something needs to change, my guy, with this.
I personally don't think the live shows would do anything to change it. And the reason why I say that,
even if it's not that, the company needs to change.
The reason why I say that is because the majority of the live shows last year were not that great. I didn't feel like they were the best. I don't feel like a live show can't change creative. The issue is creative. It's not the live shows. It's not the recording shows. It's they can't continue stories. They can make stories. They just can't make good stories. And that comes down to creative and writing, not having a live episode or a recorded episode.
Right. Well, they need to shake something up. It may not even be when they do it, how they do it. Well, maybe even the time slot might do something if they move it up an hour, but C Money 0 to 10, no Trish.
I really just don't understand what happened after Rebellion, because I feel like, I know the first episode on AMC wasn't that great, but I feel like they rebounded a lot, and we got some really cool stuff going on. We had that guitar case casket match. We had some street fights going on. We had another weird. Oh, we had that 4 corners match that started
the strap match, the guitar
strap match. We had the strap match. All that led to Rebellion, and I felt like all of that was great. A lot of this, there was obviously some downers. There's downers in every company, but I felt like the lead up to Rebellion, from after the AMC premiere to Rebellion, I thought that was great, other than the Knockouts world title situation. And after Rebellion, they kind of took a turn, and it's just, I don't know where they're going. And like last week coming out of TNA Impact, I felt like I had a clear direction of Slammiversary. This week coming out of Impact, I have no clue, because the matches that I thought were going down at Slammiversary are going down next week. So I'm a little, that's where I am. I'm a little lost of what they're trying to do.
And this might be one of the last things that I say before we kind of head out for the night and everything, as I see a couple closing statements I got to read out here. But did the WWE involvement in TNA end up leaving TNA not fully developing their own stories? It left a lot of holes in their creative of where they could go, and they didn't really, know how to patch it up or anything.
When it comes to the Knockouts division, absolutely yes. I felt like after, and and they kind of went through issues with Ash by Elegance and her health and the Masha Slamovich stuff. And I think they relied heavily on the NXT women for the knockouts division. But then you started to build that knockouts feud with Danny Luna and Lei Ying Lee, and then Lei Ying Lee had the visa issues, and then you give it to Ariana Grace, and I already know how I feel about that. So for the knockouts division, absolutely. I feel like the main event scene, people can have their feelings. I do feel like the main event scene with the world title has bounced back from Trick Williams, even though we had that what are we doing with Mike Santana when he drops the title 4 weeks after taking a break, right? But I feel like after that, we got Frankie Kazarian as world champion. Thankfully, that wasn't long, but it did build a rivalry between Mike Santana and Frankie Kazarian. Not saying it was good, just saying they built something there. And then we went from that to Steve Macklin, and that was really good. Regardless, I haven't heard anybody say anything negative about the Steve Macklin feud with Mike Santana. That's one thing I haven't heard. I thought that was great. But now we're back into what are we doing? And I know we got what's his name? We got
EY.
That promo was fun tonight. I did say between that and the main event, there was nothing good, but I did like the promo between those two. I thought that was really good. But I don't know. I felt like they wrote stories out to Rebellion, and then after Rebellion, it was like, we don't have it.
Oh shit! That's kind of how you were expecting more. I had to write another book.
Right. We still got half a year. You got to
build up to arguably your biggest show of the year, and it shouldn't be vocal discourse and vocal kind of backlash towards your creative team going into your biggest show of the year. I mean, WWE might know something about that when it comes to Vegas and WrestleMania, but TNA can't withstand that, I feel.
Right. I don't want to say, because we still got 4 weeks left, I don't want to say like Slammiversary is like a throwaway show, but I feel like and I said that at the beginning when I officially joined the stream, I feel like they're building more towards a lockdown than they are a Slammiversary. And that's where I'm concerned about, because Slammiversary is your big four, is your SummerSlam of the summer. I'll put it like that. But I don't like to compare SummerSlam and Slammiversary because they're two different things. But
is it your WrestleMania though? I almost feel like it's kind of that version of it. Well, or is it it's Bound for Glory?
Yeah, it's Bound for Glory. Bound for Glory is that,
fair enough.
Is what that is. But I don't want to keep dragging this out because I was late and I want to continue to talk. So you got
nothing but time, my God. Trust me, you got to get those 100%, baby. Dude, live how you want to live out there.
Right.
Trust me. Go on the rant. Trust me, I was trying to get to the fucking poke the bear, do the fucking rant. Come on, do the thing. As Steve Boston's trying to do that with me. If Nick can't even read the full comments of the ratings, I'm going to tell KJ. Well, you can tell him tomorrow when he's here live and direct in full effect at 1:45 for Friday Night SmackDown, the afternoon stream, a brunch with the bro instead of brunch with the boys. I work. See, we're not one of those big creators that got worried because we didn't have anything besides clips with our face over top of it to make content. So we still have to actually work regular, normal jobs and everything on top of that. That's why this man's out here tired and sleepy and oversleeping.
Absolutely.
But yes, money out of nowhere, and see money. Speaking of working them hard ass jobs out there, I'm on the road for work, so I didn't watch. Glad to see my homies. Well, I'm glad we can, keep you company on the road. We got a long way to go and a short time to get there. But shout out Steve Money. I like that stuff from Wrestle Ranch. You got a star, sir. It feels like Bear in the Big Blue House. Goodbye, goodbye, good friends, goodbye.
I haven't heard that song if you remember in a long time.
Yeah, but a Wrestle Ranch out here. Until next time, chat, peace, and love. Good stream, fellas. Peace and chicken grease. Take care. Brush your hair. We're out here tomorrow for afternoon SmackDown. Nick hates overruns, but loves his own overruns. Yeah, Q2, bud. But no, I 100%. I'll make all the overruns I want because guess what? I'm getting paid for this. But
right.
You got any last thoughts? I dare I say you got any last thoughts?
No last thoughts. Just be here for an afternoon SmackDown tomorrow. Should be. I would assume it'll be a good one, right? But be here for a SmackDown tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see if they're getting fast and loose with what they advertise. But now I got to hit it, so I hit it again. But goodbye, good friends, goodbye. Our shit is real, our shit is raw, our shit is authentic. When you're talking about that wrestling, you better put that full life with it.
See you tomorrow for SmackDown.